Lead the Indians against all-star Mark Trumbo and the resurgent Los Angeles Angels. A road trip that started off rough ended with an offensive burst as the Indians took 3 out of 4 in Baltimore. Now it's time for some home cooking, but it won't be easy. The Angels are red hot and have the best record of the majors since the last time the two teams met. Ubaldo Jimenez faces off with a tough customer in Jared Weaver. However, he's 3-0 against the AL West, and he'll try to improve upon that next on Sports Time Ohio. Back home in downtown Cleveland, the Indians return off a long 10-game road trip to open up a 4th of July series against the Los Angeles Angels. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Mann. Of course, we won't get to the 4th of July for a couple of days, but we're going to get this series started here against a red-hot Angels group that somehow, Rick, really has turned things around since the last time we saw them.
Well, it'll be a different ball club. It's just not Albert Pujols anymore, although he has turned it around offensively. He's starting to hit the long ball. Mark Trumbo, a young player, right-handed hitter that has really exploded with some home runs and some RBI since the end of April. It'll be a different team. They only scored 4 runs in the series the first time they came here. But the Indians coming off a series in Baltimore where they won 3 out of 4. 21 of their 55 hits were for extra bases. I don't think you're going to see that kind of offense against the Angels. They have a little better starting pitching than the Baltimore Orioles do.
The Indians do get Carlos Santana back in the starting lineup tonight, but no Travis Hafner. He's still rehabbing at AAA Columbus. Meanwhile, let's take a look at tonight's starting pitching matchup, courtesy of the Nissan Road Ahead.
Well, Ubaldo Jimenez coming back, and he's been throwing the ball very well in the month of June. He's tightened up his curveball. He has used his fastball much more and a pretty good splitter to go with it as well. He's going to be matched up against Jared Weaver, and Jared Weaver's an awful tough customer. Get to a Nissan dealer for great deals on innovation you can count on. He's got a good fastball, good breaking ball, but the Indians see a lot of changeups from this guy. Well, this is a guy that, he's only throwing about 88 to 89 miles an hour anymore because he mixes that changeup in, but he is 8-1. He's 4-0 in this ballpark. He's going to be tough to settle. They really worked him hard the last time they faced him because he was out after 6 innings because he had over 100 pitches, but he couldn't spot his fastball in that start. As bad as that last road trip was at times for the Indians, by winning 3 out of 4 in Baltimore and finishing strong, they come home just a game and a half out of first in the AL Central. We're back with all of tonight's play-by-play action coming up next.
Well, it's a beautiful night for baseball here at Progressive Field. Game time temperature will be right around 83 degrees. Warm and humid. The Angels back here in town for the first time since the end of April, when at that time the Angels were really limping as a ball club. But ever since then, they've caught fire, and they've been one of the best teams in the American League since. Problem for the Angels, they're trying to catch Texas, and the Rangers show no signs of slowing up. They're 50-30. So the Angels 5.5 off the pace in the AL West. The Indians, despite their struggles on the road, 40-38, just a game and a half behind front-running Chicago in the division. Ubaldo Jimenez making his warm-up tosses now for the Tribe. Let's take a look at the lineup he will face for Mike Scioscia's Angels, brought to you by Kia. Eric Ibar is in the leadoff spot. They scratched their talented center fielder Mike Trout. He's got a bad index finger that he jammed while sliding yesterday. Torrey Hunter in the 2-hole, then Albert Pujols. Kenry Morales bats cleanup. Mark Trumbo, an all-star selection, bats 5th. Alberto Callaspo 6th. Then Howie Kendrick. Peter Borges is in center field, batting 8th, and then Bobby Wilson will catch and hit 9th.
All right, let's take a look at the Indians starting pitcher, Ubaldo Jimenez, with a reminder to go to Indians.com now for the All-Star final vote. Jimenez making his 16th start of the year. He is 7-6. He is coming off a loss in New York in his last start. He really pitched a good game, and you remember that was the game where he threw that one pitch after brushing back Cano. About 3 or 4 pitches off the outside corner. He ended up hitting him for a 2-run home run, and it cost him a game, and it was actually a very good pitch. So we'll see if he can bounce back. He's 0-1 in his career against the Angels. Set the Indians defense, brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet, with 4 convenient locations and the best selection of Chevrolets in Northeast Ohio. Duncan, Brantley, and Chu in the outfield. It'll be Hanahan, Cabrera, Kipnis, and Kochman on the infield. Back in there behind the plate, Carlos Santana.
Jerry Lane, the crew chief, calling the balls and strikes. Bob Davidson at first, Jim Wolf at second, Mike McClinsky is at third. And we're ready to go here at Progressive Field as Eric Ibar stands in for the Angels.
Yeah, he was added to that leadoff spot with Trout out of there.
And the first pitch of the game catches the outside corner for strike 1. Ibar hitting .258. But he has swung the bat much better of late as the Angels have surged. Many of their offensive numbers have been better. Slow tapper. Santana can't come up with it, and Ibar is aboard with a little swinging bunt, essentially.
That's exactly what it was. High off the plate, and it goes down there, and if Santana had any chance, he was going to have to field it cleanly. He does not. It goes as an infield single. Hanahan wasn't going to get him. Kid can run, and Santana really, it puts pressure on you, and didn't make the play. Infield single.
Gives him a hit in 17 of his last 19 games now. And it brings up Torrey Hunter. And ever since Torrey Hunter moved into the 2-hole in the lineup, he has really taken off. He's hit .351, and on the first movement, Ibar takes off, and he is out at second base. Kipnis slapped the tag on his thigh, or maybe on his hip, but he got him before he got to the bag, and that's a big first out.
I'll tell you what, that was a terrific play by Kipnis. It was not that good of a throw because it short-hopped him. Watch how Kipnis comes back and scoops it and ends up making the tag. I thought he had it in there. It was on the shortstop side. Very quick hands to get that ball and come back and tag him. Beautiful play.
And a good call.
Beautiful play. Jim Wolf right on it.
And Hunter bangs a single right into center field. Injury report today brought to you by Elk & Elk. Serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. For Mike Trout, I think I said index finger. It's actually the pinky finger on his right hand. And he was taking batting practice today, and I guess he felt some discomfort in there, so they decided not to push it. Chris Iannetta, they're hoping to get him back. He's helps out behind the plate in catching duties. And Vernon Wells with a right thumb injury. The pitch now to Pujols. Ripped foul. I don't think he even hit a loud foul ball the last time he was here.
Well, no, he was really struggling back in end of April. You know, with the pressure and everything, changing leagues. But, you knew it was just a matter of time. But I'll tell you one thing, they're getting aggressive on Ubaldo early.
He checks. It's a called strike.
And that caught stealing, too, that Santana throws out Ibar. That's only the second guy caught while Ubaldo has been on the mound. It's 2 out of 13 now.
Pujols pops it up right field.
Yeah, it's a
Shin-Soo Choo.
Sting out of the bat.
2 down.
Let's watch the sequence here. It's a first pitch fastball, and Pujols was waiting for it. Then he throws him a good curveball that locked him up. Now watch that front foot. He didn't have anything into it. He thought he might get a fastball in because he didn't commit to the outside part of the plate, and it was an all-arm swing there.
Pitch outside, ball 1. Ripped the left, and that's a fair ball all the way down into the corner. Duncan trying to dig it out. Can he keep Hunter from scoring? And he will get the stop sign. And they've got him caught up the bag, the tag. No, he's called safe. Oh, my. They almost had Hunter hung out to dry because he came around third with such a full head of steam that he literally had to slam the brakes on to get back in time.
Well, nobody could get to the bag. Hanahan couldn't get there, and Cabrera wanted to give him the flip because he would have been a dead duck at home plate. Morales uses the left field line. They had the shift on him. Duncan played it nicely. Gives that one good throw, and watch, Hanahan trying to get back. He throws the glove down, and his momentum just carried him over the bag, and Hunter was able to get back in.
Did you see Torrey Hunter? He pulled the right hand back. Watch him when he goes in with the right hand. He pulls it back.
And held it.
He never got a tag on him.
That's right. He did. He didn't give him anything to tag.
Well, now Mark Trumbo. What a season he's having. 20 homers, 55 ribbies, and a .312 batting average. Named to the All-Star team. Checked on a ball in the dirt. You remember the big slugger, Tim Salmon. Well, Trumbo's trying to get to the 50 homer mark, fastest in club history. He's at 227 games, sitting on 49 homers. And Tim Salmon got to 51 by game 245.
Well, this kid, he had a great year last year and missed about the last month because of injury. He's got great power. He was playing first base last year. Now, when they go out and they get Pujols, now they got to find another position. They had him at third base early, and they said he's going to be our third baseman in spring training. He couldn't cut it defensively. You know, he made a lot of errors and started the year out there, so they were picking and matching and where to put him. So now he's out in the outfield, and he will play all over the place.
The 2-1. When I was talking about Tim Salmon, I started to say Troy Gloss because that's who this guy reminds me of. I mean, big physical guy that, remember Gloss was a third baseman.
Right.
Sort of.
Well, he was, yeah. He wasn't a bad third baseman for as big as he was, a 6'5" guy.
That's why you look at Trumbo, you just don't see many third basemen that big. He swats this one into the outfield. Brantley going back. He's got room and pulls it down. So an eventful first inning, but the Angels are kept off the scoreboard. 3 hits, they strand a pair. Indians coming to bat. Shin-Soo Choo, Asdrubal Cabrera, Jason Kipnis, Michael Brantley, Carlos Santana, Johnny Damon, Casey Kochman, Shelley Duncan, Jack Hanahan. Tribe starting 9 brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians.
Jared Weaver, the starter for the Angels tonight. Another outstanding year so far. It's his third start since coming off of the DL. He's 2-0 in his other 2 starts. And he is on his third consecutive All-Star team. For him, 8-1, and he has had a brilliant year. Last time he pitched against the Indians came April 27th. He went 6 innings, 7 hits, and had 8 strikeouts. He did walk 4, and he did not have command of his fastball. That's why they were able to get him out of there. But this guy pitches awfully well in this ballpark. 4-0 in his 7 starts.
Fastball, swing, and a miss. Missed down low with it. Count evens 1-1. Choo coming off a very good series in Baltimore in which he went 8 for 17, and he walked 4 times as well. Breaking ball, 1-hop smash to second. Howie Kendrick will throw him out 1 down.
Let's take a look at the Home Depot Angels defense. They are rated 9th in the league, 52 errors. Trumbo in left, Borges in center, Hunter is in right. Cayespo at third, Ibar at short, Kendrick is at second, Pujols at first, Wilson behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Now, the Angels managed 3 hits in that top half of the first inning, but they did not score. When you look at the last 2 series that these 2 teams have played here in Cleveland, pitching dominant. And they've split the 6 games. But the ERAs are unbelievable. The Angels' ERA is 1.90, and the Indians' ERA is 1.50. And the batting averages very similar. The Angels have hit 153 in the last 2 series here, and the Indians have hit a little better than that at 225. So it has been pitching that has dominated, with these 2 teams squaring off in each of their last 2 series here at Progressive Field. And Asdrubal Cabrera looks at a strike.
Weaver, he throws that high fastball. He doesn't throw as hard as he used to. He's only throwing 88 miles an hour now, but he has such an outstanding changeup. That's what makes him so good. Left-hander's hitting just 169 off him, and he's punched out 49 of them. Changes the eye level.
In the air, left center. Borges and Trumbo converge. Trumbo takes it in left for out number 2. All right, let's see what the Indians have in store for Jared Weaver tonight from an offensive standpoint. Here's Katie Witham.
Well, Matt, things really don't change much for the Indians' offensive approach as far as what they did against Jared Weaver last time. They look to make him continue to work out there, earn those outs. They know Weaver's a guy who likes to try to pitch to contact. So the key, Bruce Fields told me today, is if they're going to swing early, make sure they're swinging at pitches to hit and not the ones Weaver is trying to get them to swing at. Guys.
Well, that high fastball that he's throwing, you've got to get on top of it right there if you're going to get after him early. Because he may throw it that first. I think he's going to want to establish that fastball this time around. And then that second time through, attack you with the off-speed pitches. There's the breaking ball. And once he gets ahead of you like this, he can go to work. He can carve you up.
He can elevate the fastball. He can get you to go off the plate. There's that elevated fastball. Kipnis got a bat on it. But from third base, Cayespo throws him out, and the Indians go 1-2-3. No score after 1. Berry Chiller. Cherry and raspberry flavors blended with ice and 100% fruit juice. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. No score, second inning. Alberto Calespo, Howie Kendrick, and Peter Borges due up for the Angels. Ubaldo Jimenez with a fastball for strike one to Calespo. Big curveball, and it did catch the corner. Calespo not happy about the call of Jerry Lane. There's another guy who got off to a very, very slow start, but in his last 45 games, he's hit .285. Fastball and got him looking.
Oh, yeah. He's going back shaking his head saying, I don't think I saw a strike in that at bat.
Swing the bats, boys.
Unlike what we saw in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Total opposite. You're going to see a fastball right there. Had the plate.
That's right at the top of the strike zone. I mean, I know
Well,
hitters a lot of times aren't used to having to swing at that pitch, but
they may not. But after coming off a weekend that we saw in Baltimore, I'm telling you what, I'd rather see the strike zone a little wider. And that wasn't, I mean, it had the plate.
especially if you've got pitchers, Rick, that consistently hit those spots.
Well, Weaver's going to do the same thing, and
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be a strike with him just as well.
Line drive, Kipnis, short hops it, throws him out. 2 down. All right, let's check out tonight's trivia question brought to you by AT&T. 2 players have won a Gold Glove at 2 different positions. 2 players, a Gold Glove, 2 different positions. We'll have the answer coming up later in the game. There's a called strike to Peter Borges. Borges, a guy with great speed and a guy they really like, but Mike Trout's emergence has sort of pushed him to the background and sort of left him in limbo. Lines this one to center field. Brantley makes the catch, and the Angels go 1-2-3 quickly here in inning number 2. For the Indians here in the bottom of the second inning, Michael Brantley, Carlos Santana, and Johnny Damon. Brantley batting .280 on the year. And he takes a look at a strike on the outside corner. Michael got a day off yesterday, or at least most of the day off.
Part of a day off, right. He had to go in for defense.
Had a good series in Baltimore, going 5 for 12. He walked 5 times. And the count 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 from Jared Weaver. And that'll leave it up.
That's right there what he does so well, Matt, is when he's behind in the count, he tried to go inside with that fastball. Then he throws you that big, slow curveball away at 72. So it's about 16 miles an hour off his fastball, but he drills it on the outside corner.
And a fastball, same spot. And Brantley grounds out the second. 1 away. Our stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. In 7 career starts here at Progressive Field, he's 4-0 with a 1.75 ERA. The Indians have beaten him up a little bit in Anaheim in his 6 career starts there, an ERA of over 5. Remember, he had that great start a couple of years ago against the young guy we traded to Colorado.
White? Alex White?
Alex White. And White outdueled him in Anaheim.
Was that his first win? His
Might
first
have been.
Major League win,
Yeah,
I believe?
I think it was early in the year. Ground ball right up the middle. It gets through, and a base hit for Carlos Santana and his return to the lineup. In fact, as I think about it, might have been last year. It might have been last April.
It was.
Yeah, early April or May. In any event, Carlos Santana, nice to see him back in the lineup.
Well, this is a ball right here where it hit beautifully. I mean, placed beautifully, I should say. They're playing Carlos over there to pull at second base, and he just hits a slow hopper up the middle. Weaver can't believe it got through, but it did.
Snaps an 0 for 10 slide for Carlos. After he sat out all 4 games in Baltimore over the weekend. Now Johnny Damon. Damon 0 for his last 6. He went 1 for 7 in Baltimore. That one hit was a home run. Up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Santana held at first by Pujols. And Damon fouls it right back. One ball, 2 strikes. Missed outside with it. That'll even it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Damon has hit in 7 of his last 10 games. Pops this one straight up in front of the plate. Pujols calls for it. And the first baseman has it. 2 down.
Well, buy your tickets early and save on seats for the big fireworks show that's going to take place tomorrow night And come on out and check out the Los Angeles Angels. It's a 7:05 start, and then following the game, fireworks will be set to patriotic music after the ball game. Log on to Indians.com/fireworks for your tickets. Tomorrow night.
Looking back, Rick, that game last year between Alex White and Jared Weaver was on May 7th. They both went 6 innings in that game. They both allowed 7 hits. Weaver gave up 4 runs. White gave up 3. And that was the final score. Now Casey Kochman. You know it's a long road trip when you look at the numbers from the trip, and guys had 35 and 36 and 37 at bats. Kochman was 7 for 35 on the trip. And all of a sudden Weaver has missed on 3 straight.
Well, they better get used to it because there's 3 more in the second half. 3 city trips, so they're going to get used to it on the road.
There's a bullseye, 3-1. Bottom of the second inning, no score. With Santana at first and 2 down.
You know, you break it down, the Indians, they played 38 home games. This is their 39th tonight. And they played 40 road games. So they've been, it's been 1-on-1. That's how it works out anyway.
Fouled right back.
Boy, you live for pitches like that off Weaver. When you get the count in your favor, you certainly don't want to foul it off. You want to put it in play and put a good swing on it. He had the good swing. He just fouled it off. And I think that ball was just a bit up for him. That's a pitch that would be nice to drive to left center field.
Santana takes off on the 3-2, and Kochman lines it to Pujols for out number 3. 2 complete, no score.
Top of the third with no score. There's Mike Trout hanging out of the dugout. You know he wants to be playing. There's no question. Named the American League Rookie of the Month for the 2nd consecutive month. It's good to see nothing on the hand. Like we said, he stayed in the game after that first inning double, in which he seemed to jam the hand into the bag. We saw him the other day. Remember the normal slide into the bag at second base?
And it looked like he had that similar type look. And I asked Mike Socha this today when he slid in the other day on a stolen base. Remember when feet first into that slide?
That's what I was talking about.
And I asked him about that, and Mike said, no, it's just one of those things he decided to do it on his own. Now, he doesn't necessarily feel that he's going to do it every single time doing the head first slide a la Ricky Henderson. But that was an opportunity to go feet first, which is generally going to be the safer way to go in, because eventually some infielders block the base, and if you have your foot there planted, it's very difficult for a base fielder to get the hand around. But if you're going in feet first, they're not going to block that base when you're sliding for a stolen base attempt.
Bobby Wilson in the hole at 0-2. And he looks at a fastball right down the pipe as he goes down looking for out number 1. Second strikeout of the game for Jimenez, who's retired the last 5 in a row since the Morales double. So back to the top of the order now, and Eric Ibar coming up. Angels with 3 hits in the first, stranding runners at second and third. Ibar had a knock, little dribbler on the third base line. And then on the very first pitch, Torrey Hunter took off for second and was thrown out by Santana. Eric ahead of the count at 2 balls and no strikes. Now 7 for 21 on this road trip. Corner infielders for the Indians, of course, playing in with Ibar at the plate. Hanahan at third. And Kochman at first. This one pulled over to second. Kipnis has it. 2 outs. And log on to FoxSportsWest.com. Check out all the features that are on there, including Ryan Holland's blog, the former UCLA Bruin and NBA veteran, talking about free agency. And then, of course, there's an article there about the NHL and NBA free agency overall. FoxSportsWest.com. Get connected.
A lot of good stuff on there.
It is a website with information. Torrey's ahead of the count at 1 ball and no strikes. He had a base hit up the middle in the first, so he's 1 for 1.
Torrey in his last 20 games, .346 batting average. Remember, it was here where he started getting his swing together. 2 home runs, back-to-back games, solo shots to right center field. He's got that real good approach of going the other way here at Progressive Field.
Torrey went around. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Torrey has 28 career home runs against Cleveland pitching and 95 RBI.
Here comes the 1-2 downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jimenez making his second career start against the Angels. His first one resulted in a loss, went 7 innings, struck out 5. Gave up 4 runs on 7 hits. Foul back to the right. Count remains at 2-2. Jimenez, the former Rocky, came over in that deal that sent Alex White, Drew Pomeranz, Joe Gardner, all pitchers, and infielder Matt McBride to get this right-hander. And Jerry Lane rings up Torrey. It's another 1-2-3 inning for the Angels. Still no score.
On Cleveland, Indians and the Angels, no score, bottom of the third. Shelley Duncan, Jack Hanahan, Shin-Soo Choo due up for the Tribe. Shelley Duncan coming off one of his best series of the year. And a line drive smash to third, right at Cayaspo. One away. Second straight line drive out for the Indians.
Yeah, nothing you could do here. He says, I'm looking for that first pitch fastball. He got it, hit it right on the nose, but Cayaspo flags it down. Not much you can do about that. They say, good swing, way to hit it. You go, yeah, right. Give me a hit. Let me stay hot.
Well, Jack Hanahan will step in here. Hanahan, who spent time on the disabled list with the back problem and then the hamstring issue, but now he's the Indians' third baseman with Lonnie Chisenhall down. Chisenhall, for all intents and purposes, will be sidelined the rest of the year, 10 to 12 weeks with that fractured forearm and then the subsequent surgery. Two and one to count. And another hard hit ball, but right at the shortstop. Ibar, 2 down. Tonight's minor league update, courtesy of University Hospitals. Anthony Gallus, another big game offensively, 3 for 4, drove in a run, scored 1, hit .375 in his last 17 ball games with a hit in 16 of them. Now here's Shin-Soo Choo, who grounded out his first time up.
These two pitchers aren't messing around, are they? They're sitting out there. They're pounding the strike zone saying, let's go. Looks like he's telling Choo now if that ball would have rolled fair, that would have been a fair ball. Because he hits it back behind the plate, and Choo just stayed right there. That ball had a little spin on it. He tried to get it out in front of the plate, and he was explaining it to him. Jerry Lane
wouldn't have had to roll much farther, Rick.
Right.
It was very close to being in fair territory.
And I think he was telling him that. There's the change of the eye level for the hitter. You see Weaver do that a lot when he gets to 2 strikes. It's not going to be a strike pitch.
Choo hits one high in the air, slicing down the line and out of play.
You know, and when you throw an 88, that goes to show you can pitch up in the strike zone and still succeed throwing 88.
If you're accurate.
But you've got to set it up. You've got to have, he's got the curveball, he's got the changeup, but he goes letter high because it's still tough to get on top of that ball. You'll see him foul it off, and as a hitter, you see that pitch very well. It's just tough to get on top of it and put a good swing on it or catch up to it. Jim Palmer used to pitch like that, a lot of high fastballs. But I think Palmer threw a little harder.
Ooh, close pitch, didn't get the call. Choo benefits. Now it's a 2-2 count.
This guy gives you a different arm angle, and he can be tough to pick up. No hitter to his credit this year. No hitting the Minnesota Twins.
Oh, there's that good changeup, and he strikes him out. First strikeout for Weaver tonight. Through 3, no score. The Angels had 3 hits. The Indians just 1 for L.A. Albert Pujols, Kendry Morales, Mark Trumbo coming up. Jimenez gave up all 3 hits in the first. Has retired the last 7 in a row. 3 by strikeout. Pujols flied to right his first time up when he was fooled. And out on his front foot, just kind of popped it up.
Yeah, he started off fastball, curveball, and then went something away.
There's a hard hit ball in the right field for a single.
See, that time he was sort of maybe trying to shoot it that way. And
now they're shading him up the middle, so
he kept his hands back too. Watch, and he did. His body was out in front in the last one. He made sure he stayed back behind the ball that time. He didn't stride. He just used his front foot, and then boom, right in the hole between first and second. So that's the way you get hits.
Now
Take it the other way.
They shift 3 on the right side now for Kendry Morales, who doubled to left field his last time up.
Yeah, he sort of beat the whole thing last time. They were playing this way, and he hit it right down the third baseline, down into the corner. Nice play here by Santana, blocking this ball. Got a glove on it to keep it in front of him. Saves a base, and that's big after the leadoff single.
Just missed with that fastball, 2-0.
Nice fastball inside, just a hair inside.
Wow. I don't know. There's a strike call, 2-1.
Ubaldo has pitched better here in this ballpark, where he is 3-2 and an ERA of 3.79.
High fly ball, shallow right center. Brantley and Chu converge, and Michael takes it. 1 away. Here's our great clip of the game from yesterday. Justin Masterson, 7 innings, 7 strikeouts. Again, pitching like a true ace. Great clips. It's going to be great.
Well, that's what the Indians had to do. They got to get their 2 big pitchers, on track. Masterson did it yesterday, and for his last 13 starts, he's gone at least 6. You look at Jimenez, in his last 5 starts, he's gone at least 6 innings. So that's what Manny Acta and the Indians need. They needed those 2 guys to step front and give them some innings, some length. And I know during some of their starts, their run support wasn't there, but if they can continue to do that over the course of the long haul, hopefully it will be.
Mark Trumbo fly to pretty deep center his first time up.
I remember last year this guy had 4 hits and a ball never left the infield one time. He had 3 in. He just topped it and beat it out. Big old Baltimore chops.
In Anaheim. He has hit into 6 double plays this year.
Oh boy! Oh, forget it.
Great jump by Pujols, and the ball hit him.
Yeah, it did.
And carrying right to Cabrera. Where did it hit him at?
It looked like it got him in the side of the helmet or the face. Because he had really no chance. Oh, it got him in the shoulder. And I think it deflected off his helmet. He had such a jump off Jimenez. He was guessing right there and took off. And you can see it's right up there on the shoulder. But then Carlos somehow, some way, got that ball there, and he's going to have a chance. It hits him right on the shoulder. Kipnis trying and deflected off his helmet and goes right to Cabrera. Look at Kipnis try and keep the tag on him like he's still got the ball in his glove. So that'll go as a stolen base.
Tell you what, he's in considerable amount of pain.
Yeah, that hit him right up. He's telling somebody catch
he's
the
yelling
ball.
at Cabrera. Cabrera wasn't anywhere near it.
Well, that's what happens. Another dimension. You want to steal a base, sometimes you pay for it. I know physically you do. This time, you don't expect the ball to hit you, but it certainly did.
Now Mark Trumbo has a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Breaking ball hit off the end of the bat to first. Kochman will flip it to Jimenez. 2 down as Pujols moves over to third. Hell, if you want the latest updates from down on the farm, well, just tune into Indians Minor League Magazine. Tomorrow night, you'll meet Indians top draft pick Tyler Naquin. That's Indians Minor League Magazine tomorrow night at 6 right here on STO. Alberto Calespo out on strikes his first time up. Calespo sends one high in the air to left. Shelley Duncan is there. And the inning is over. The Angels get a hit, leave one stranded. We go to the bottom of the fourth, no score. It has been a pitcher's duel to this point, which, as I mentioned earlier, nothing new between these two clubs here in Cleveland. And in their last 2 series that they've played here head-to-head, pitching has dominated. Ground ball to second base, and Cabrera is an easy out to start the bottom of the fourth. Each team has won 3 in their last 6 head-to-head matchups here. The ERAs are below 2. Batting averages are paltry. And that's just the way it has gone between these two clubs here in Cleveland.
Well, let's see.
More the same.
The Indians won 3-2 and 4-0, and they lost 2-1
earlier this year. Yeah. Now Jason Kipnis sends a high fly to left.
2
Mark
pitches,
Trumbo.
2 outs. Rick, I bet you didn't know this, but the Midwest Beach Soccer Series is back.
Former Cleveland Crunch goalie Otto Orff brings this unique 5-on-5 soccer tournament to Headlands Beach in Menard July 14th and 15th. It's music, sun, soccer, and fun for the whole family. For all the information, visit handsonsoccer.com.
Man, we're not going to be here to go see it. I think we're in Toronto and then down to Tampa over that weekend.
Well, Otto has long been a well-known soccer star throughout Cleveland and northeastern Ohio, and he's done a lot of great work with kids who want to get into soccer. Isn't Otto from up around your neck of the woods?
I'm not quite sure exactly where he's from.
There's a strike to Michael Brantley, who grounded to second base his first time up.
The last time Weaver pitched against the Indians, after 4 innings, he had 87 pitches. This will be pitch number 46. So it is a totally different start here. He has commanded his fastball.
Curveball swung on and missed. Boy, he's had a good one, too.
Well, that's what surprised me to start this inning out. He's got a good curveball. He threw a curveball to Cabrera first pitch, and Asdrubal went after it and made an out on the first pitch. That'd be a tough pitch to hit on the very first pitch, you're seeing.
Ground ball to first. And Albert Pujols will take it himself. A 7-pitch 4th inning for Jared Weaver. Goose eggs through the first 4. No score. By Panini, with 17 locations in Northeast Ohio. By Levin's, home of the Sealy Posturepedic mattress made right here in Northeast Ohio. And by KiaCleveland.com. No scores. We go to the 5th inning. Otto Orff was born in Elma, New York.
Elma, New York?
Yeah, right outside of Buffalo there. And I know he went to
well,
school in Buffalo.
That's my homie then.
Yeah, he's it's your bro.
Yes, indeed.
And a strike called to Howie Kendrick. Bottom third of the Angels order due up here. Hit him.
Yes, it did.
And Kendrick will take his base.
That got him right on the elbow. The is not wearing any padding. A lot of hitters do. That one just deflects off and goes to the backstop, so he will take his base. See if Mike Scioscia tries to do anything here with this combination at the plate. Peter Borges, a guy that can run, he can bunt. Kendrick, a guy that has some speed, not blistering like some other guys. Start the runner and create a hole.
The Angels have already attempted 2 stolen bases tonight.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all with this combination going on. Bottom part of the lineup, you're looking to get something going.
Snap throw to first, and Kendrick.
There you go.
Beats the
Keep
tag.
him that much closer.
But Jimenez has fallen behind 2-0 now. Borges takes a strike.
Now's the time. If you want to do it, you can do it on this pitch. An action pitch, 2-1. He's taking a long look down there at third base. He had a little flinch going on.
Now the set on the 2-1. Runner holds. He missed down low with it. 3-1. Bobby Wilson, the on-deck hitter. And Borges fouls it off. So now a full count, and you almost expect them to be moving now.
I would think so now. Send out some birthday wishes. Wes Welty is turning 83 today. David Hood of Bedford, Virginia is 59. And Dominic Martin turning 4. Happy birthday to everybody out there.
The 3-2 runner goes. And a strikeout.
Why didn't Santana go ahead and throw and hit him? He could have ran up, and he foul tipped it. He caught it. Why didn't he just go ahead? He was out in front of the plate. That's where you get your interference. You have to hit the runner. Watch Santana stop. Don't stop. I know he had the ball. That's where you throw, and the guy would have had to go back. It would have been interference if he hits him. He stopped. He was out over the plate.
Well, especially in that instance because Kendrick had such a good jump. He wasn't going to get him anyway,
Doesn't
so why
matter.
not take your chance there?
Absolutely. You go ahead and you just try. Just run into the guy.
1 out now. Bobby Wilson steps up. And a base hit into left field. Duncan charges. Coming around third and being held is Kendrick. And the throw goes all the way to home. But Wilson stops at first. So Bobby Wilson, the light-hitting catcher, comes up with a base hit here. Just the fifth hit of the game for the Angels. And they've got runners at first and third with only 1 out.
Well, he's cheating on this ball. He's getting a breaking ball, and he's going out front, and he hit a pretty good pitch. Down and away. He had to be looking for that. Duncan comes in. They're not going to be able to score Kendrick. They're take their chances now with 1 out, and you're rolling it over at the top of the lineup.
Eric Ibar, who has bounced into 6 double plays on the year, steps in. And believe it or not, 5 of the 6 double plays that he has grounded into this year have been from this side of the plate. You would almost just say, well, most of the double plays he's hit into are from the right side of the plate because he loses maybe a step and a half or a couple of steps, but it's been just the opposite. The 1-0. Drilled. Deep center. Brantley back. He'll make the catch, but tagging and coming home with the first run of the game is Howie Kendrick. And the Angels take a 1-0 lead. So a hit batter, a stolen base, and then the base hit by Wilson moves him to third. He's home on the sac fly by Ibar, who gets his 21st run batted in on the year.
Well, the way Weaver's thrown, that's exactly what they wanted to do. Get on the board and give him a run. And it's the bottom part of the lineup that does that.
Torrey Hunter singled in the first, struck out his last time up. Slowly chopped to short. Cabrera will have to hurry. He unloads, and he got him by a half a step. So we'll go to the bottom of the fifth with the Angels now on top 1-0. It's a 1-0 Angels lead now as we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. Carlos Santana, Johnny Damon, and Casey Kochman coming up for the Tribe. 47 pitches for Jared Weaver, 30 strikes. And he went through the Indians in the fourth inning on just 7 pitches. Santana has the only hit of the game so far for the Tribe, a bouncing ball single up the middle in the second inning.
Yeah, and it came on the first pitch, and he went after it again.
Quickly 0-2 the count.
There's the change of the eye level. And I mean, it's when you watch him pitch, this is he's just doing this like a surgeon. You know, gets ahead of you. He shows you that high fastball. He comes back with a changeup or breaking ball. He doubled up there and tried to throw the fastball in, but it was down. I mean, he has had very good command today. And he has put the ball where he has wanted to and where his catcher is calling for it.
And a breaking ball hit up the first baseline. Pujols takes it himself. 1 away.
You know, let's watch the sequence here to Santana. He's going to get after him early. And there it is. Fastball down out of the zone. He swung at a ball. Then he goes changeup away. Now he's going to go fastball up to change his eye level. He goes down and in, and he doubles up on the fastball, comes back with the curveball, has him way out front, easy out.
Here's Johnny Damon, who popped up his first time to the plate, and he takes a curveball for a strike. And that fastball is hit to left. Trumbo has that for out number 2.
Well, come on down to Progressive Field Thursday. It'll be Dollar Dog Night. Buy early and save on seats as the Tribe takes on the Tampa Bay Rays, and enjoy hot dogs for only $1 all night long, courtesy of Sugardale. Log on to Indians.com for your tickets.
Going Lionel Richie on him, huh?
All night long.
Casey Kochman, he hit a hard line drive his first time up right at Albert Pujols, the first baseman. And another curveball for a strike. Boy, Weaver isn't bouncing it. He's not missing. He's throwing that curveball for strikes whenever he wants to. And he's not hanging him over the middle of the plate either.
No, he's not. He has excellent command.
If he's had too much of the plate with it at time, he's taken so much off of it that the hitters are just out in front, can't stay back.
He's 80% strikes. First pitch strikes. Look at that. 13 out of 16, and he's just rolling.
39 out of 56 overall.
Kochman got a good hitter's count his first time up. You know, and this is just the fastball. It's eye high. If he throws that fastball middle of the plate and it's up like that, you get hitters to swing at it sometimes. This one was just a little too high.
Fastball up and away. And the count now 2-2. Hunter. Indians go 1-2-3 again. And Jared Weaver has retired 11 in a row.
Fan Zone with Hannah, today's lucky $25 Indians Fun Money winner. Hannah, how's the view from up here?
Really good.
Really good. We have a great time up here. You can be a winner too. All you have to do is buy tickets to sit in the Subway Extreme Fan Zone. Subway is where winners eat. Matt, Rick, we'll send it back over to you guys.
Thanks, Katie. 1-0 Angels as we go to the 6th. Albert Pujols, Kendry Morales, and Mark Trumbo. Pujols 1 for 2 with a base hit. And a curveball from Jimenez in for a strike. Oh, sidearm breaking ball.
Boy. Yeah, you know, he does that once in a while. During the course of the game to a tough hitter, he'll change his arm angle with that breaking ball, and that was a dandy there.
Now back Pujols, you know, Rick, did you notice he was reaching for that shoulder, the one that he got hit when he was stealing second base? After that swing, he reached immediately for that same spot that he injured. Watch him go right for it.
Yeah.
That's bothering him. That ball must have just caught him on a weird spot.
Yeah. Right up there on the socket.
Fastball in the dirt, 2-2. Low with it, full count. In his career now, Pujols 5 hits and 17 career at-bats against Jimenez. And a curveball hung high. So he had him down on the count, but he couldn't put him away. And that's the first walk issued by Jimenez. Game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. There you have it. 1 run. Eric Ibar with a sacrifice fly for the only run of the game for the Angels. Jared Weaver has made it stand up with a 1-hitter. He's retired 11 Indians in a row at this point. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. Kendry Morales doubled in the first, fly to center his last time up. 3 of the first 4 Angels had hits to start this game, but Jimenez got out of that inning and has settled down ever since. Good block by Santana, but Pujols able to go down to second base. And now they've got him hung out to dry. The throw back to Kipnis, and he's out. Heads up play by Jason Kipnis as both Cabrera and Hanahan were chasing Pujols to third. And then once he rounded the bag, he got in. He was halfway to third, and that's when Santana saw Kipnis breaking for second base, and he backtracked and got him.
Well, I'll tell you, he did the Indians a favor there. They gave him second base. Santana did a nice job of blocking that ball, but it was at the feet of Morales. But then he continued to go. And watch, you're right. He was halfway. He thought he was going to beat him there, and then realized he couldn't. And then Kipnis just comes over and fills up the hole and takes second base, and he's thrown out.
Morales a swing and a miss, 1-2.
I don't know now. How's that scored?
He's just out advancing.
Pitch? Wild pitch, out advancing. Thank you, Walrus.
There's a fly ball hit to pretty deep right field, but Chu on the move gets there in time to make the catch, 2 down.
I mean, he did the right thing. He took off for second base on this ball in the dirt. You know, and Santana wasn't going to get there, but I think he got a little greedy. Because you see nobody, and the shift for Morales that somebody was not going to beat him to third base. Well, by the time he realized it, he put on the brakes and tried to get back. It was too late. And, you know, in a one-run game like this, that could be a big play. They would have had a man on second, nobody out. He hits that sac fly or that fly ball, moves him to third. They have an opportunity to add another one.
Just as Ibar thrown out trying to steal in the first was a big play. That cost him a run. That was a bang-bang play. Popped him up. Gonna be a tough play, though. Kipnis, long run. He's there. Makes the basket catch. And the inning is over. So we'll head to the bottom of the sixth. It remains 1-0 Angels. You've got fans out there in the desert.
I know that.
Probably your neighbors. Shelley Duncan, line to third, is first and only time up tonight. Fastball missed down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. I don't know if it's because of the way he throws, but Jared Weaver, to me, always looks like he's throwing harder than what the radar gun reads out.
Well, you know what? You may not pick it up, and he's so long and lanky, man, and all of a sudden he comes from different angles. He creates angles that it's tough for the hitter to see. I mean, he's long, and that stride is long. Look where he steps. He steps in between third base and home plate. And for a right-hander, that's really has to be tough. But he's tougher on left-handed hitters.
You could see he's not happy with Jerry Lane. He thought that last pitch was a strike.
Well, Jerry's been pretty fair tonight. He hasn't missed many.
And it's ball 4. And Weaver visibly frustrated on the mound as Duncan is aboard. That stops the streak of 11 in a row retired, and Mike Scioscia's giving it to Jerry Lane as well.
Well, he's giving it the catcher's look, saying, hey, where were those? Let's look and see. There's one right there.
That's low.
He was calling it low. That's what he was calling it. And, you know, Weaver's been there all night. He's thinking, okay, I thought I had it. But they do get the leadoff man aboard, and it was a walk. And that was his first of the night. He's only struck out 1.
Jack Hanahan grounded to short his first time up. .65 pitches for Weaver. 42 of those have been strikes. So surprising that even though they were borderline, he ended up walking Shelley Duncan. And he had Hanahan out on the front foot, but it's back and out of play. Not by much.
No, that's one you need there. You need that one to get to the seats. Yeah, you get their leadoff man aboard first time tonight. They've only had one hit. That was a one-out single back in the second, so you got to take advantage of it, and he's giving you the base runner. It's like what they did to Jimenez when he, well.
Double play ball, 4-6-3. All right, time now to check out that AT&T trivia question once again. We'll get the answer. Two players that won a Gold Glove at two different positions. One of them played for the Angels, Darren Erstad. The other,
Polanco. Second base with the Tigers, third base with the Phillies.
Huh.
You wouldn't guess him, would you?
No, I
would
would've
have guessed
never
a couple
thought him.
other guys, too.
Yeah. Two down for Shin-Soo Choo, 0 for 2 on the night, and he takes a strike. Beats it into the ground, but it'll stay foul. And now he's down on the hole 0-2. Jared Weaver facing Shin-Soo Choo is just one hitter over the minimum now here in this sixth inning. And a base hit into right field for Choo. Boy, you can hear Weaver hollering as soon as Choo made contact. Upset with himself apparently over the location of that pitch, but Choo hit it hard between first and second.
0-2 pitch. And that's 10 times he's had 2 strikes on one of the Indians' hitters. So, Choo, it's very difficult to take advantage of a guy that has such control. Did you see that fastball leak out over the plate?
Look at him hollering.
Well, I mean, he's competitive. He knows that he had him set up to go any way he wanted, but he made a mistake with his location, and Choo took advantage of it. So you tip your cap. Choo gets a second hit for the Indians.
Well, and even though he's retired Asdrubal Cabrera twice tonight, now he knows he's got to face one of the Indians' better hitters. And Choo is aboard in front of Asdrubal Cabrera. Cabrera flied to left in the first, grounded to second base in the fourth. Third time through the order now for Weaver. See if it matters or if it makes any difference.
Well, he's rarely been out of the stretch today.
Well, remember, we talked about his last time, 6 innings, he was 115 pitches.
Yeah.
He's at 71.
I know it. It's been a total different start compared to the last time here in April. I'm looking for Choo if he gets a jump to take off. Ooh, another pitch that's just low. And he hasn't gotten that pitch in the inning. Another pitch down.
And that is a good call. You can see where he's reaching for it. It's definitely down.
I know. It's on the plate. I'm not saying it's a strike. I'm not, but it's been a ball all inning. That's close. You got Balk Bob over there at first base. He better make sure he steps to first because, you see him turn and almost like he didn't step.
Runner goes.
There you go.
Cabrera bounces it right to Pujols and ends the inning. So through 6, the Indians have just 2 hits and they trail 1-0.
man who collects all those bobbleheads, you got to make sure you're here this Wednesday. Sandy Alomar Jr. will be handed out to the first 15,000 fans through the gate, presented by Meritech. And if you're thinking about season tickets, you want to log on to Indians.com/season tickets right now. They still have great seats available, and that season ticket guarantee is that you'll still have the maximum savings on single ticket offers on those best seats. Check it out online right now, guys.
All right, thanks, Katie. 7th inning here at Progressive Field and a 1-0 Angels lead. Alberto Callaspo for 2, leading off for the Halos. Hard hit ball by Kochman into right. And a leadoff single for the Angels. Their 6th hit of the night.
They've had their leadoff man aboard 5 times out of the 7 innings, believe it or not. And they've only been able to get on the board once. There's a 2-0 pitch, and I mean, he takes advantage of it there. That ball's smoked by Kochman. That is just their 6th hit. So once again, leadoff man aboard.
Howie Kendrick hit by a pitch to start the 5th inning and came around to score the game's only run.
Kendrick, a guy, if you recall, back in April, was in that number 2 hole. You know, they thought this guy would be in front of Pujols throughout the course of the year because he swings a good bat. He goes the other way. He's got a nice stroke for that number 2 hole. He stays on the ball very well.
Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Throw down.
Bingo.
All kinds of time.
Santana has thrown the ball very well. He stayed behind that one, and that was an excellent throw there.
Callaspo doesn't have a stolen base on the year. And you can see Kendrick swinging and missing badly at the pitch.
Hit and run. Hit and run was on. He had to swing, and Santana just stayed behind, and I mean put it right on the money. Kipnis just caught it and kept his glove right there. Couldn't have been any better. He slides right into a beautiful throw. That's going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. So he has thrown out 2 tonight, and they have 2 stolen bases tonight.
A little bit low.
But boy, those they've made 3 outs on the bases. The Pujols last inning, and then the 2 caught stealings in the 1st and now the 7th. But that's how the Angels play. I remember one time, remember in 07 when we were snowed out early and we ended up having to go to Milwaukee and we played the Angels because we were snowed out here with Seattle?
Yeah.
And went over there and they ended the game.
That's right.
Getting thrown out at second base.
Kendrick drives one to deep left field, and that will find the seats. Kendrick's 5th home run of the year. And the Angels now lead it 2-0.
And he has scored both the runs tonight. Picked down a hanging breaking ball. One of the few mistakes Ubaldo has made tonight. And get a look at it. Oh, boy, you want him back, don't you? After you let it go 79 miles an hour. And that's on the middle end, and he just stayed back and turned on it nicely. His 5th homer.
Peter Borges 0 for 2. Way outside. That fastball hit to right field, but Chu is there. 2 down. Back to the studios we go once again. Here's Al Pulaski.
Hey, Matt and Rick, let's go to Detroit. Twins taking on the Tigers. The Tigers staked Doug Fister to a 1-0 lead, but Minnesota has since scored 4 here in the 4th inning, highlighted by this Trevor Plouffe 2 RBI single and 2 in the 5th. So the Twins are up 6-1 over Detroit. Matt?
All right, thanks, Al. Bobby Wilson fouled that off his front foot. The Chicago White Sox are idle tonight. They open a series against Western Division leading Texas at home tomorrow. Chris Sale against Roy Oswalt. Here's the 0-1. In the dirt, 2 balls and a strike. Howie Kendrick with a solo homer here in the 7th, extending the Angels' lead to 2-0. Wilson hits it hard to third. Jack Hanahan, though, makes the grab, and the inning is over. A solo dinger by Kendrick. Angels 2, Indians nothing. 7th inning stretch brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic. Join the free walking program Let's Move It Mondays at Progressive Field and at the Metro Parks Zoo. Visit letsmoveit.org for more information. Stop by and get overstuffed at Panini's Bar and Grill. 2-0 Angels as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Mike Scioscia was out for a long animated talk with home plate umpire Jerry Lane in between innings. It didn't look real amicable either.
Well, Weaver's only given up 2 hits. 0-2 single to Chu in the 6th, and Santana hit the first pitch back in the 2nd. 1-out single. And that has been it. He has been in total control and command of this ball game.
And that's in there for a strike.